everyone. I decided that I was going to do a Q&A. I've had many questions from people on my Facebook. A lot of you I know, and you know me personally. A lot of you I've actually never met you. But for the ones that don't know a little bit about me, I'm a mom of 4 kids, all grown. I have 2 daughters. I have 2 sons. 3 of my children have girls. My youngest does not have any children as of yet, but I'm hopeful in the future, in God's time, that He will present me with some cute little grandbabies. I also have 6 granddaughters, all girls, and I have 1 great-grandson, and my other granddaughter is pregnant with a baby boy. So in August, I'll have a 2nd great-grandson. My kids are giving me girls, and my grandkids are giving me boys and girls. I love children. Guess that's why I had 4. Love my children, love other people's children. I love animals. I love plants. I love music. I consider myself a decent person. I'm good-hearted. People tell me I'm funny. But I also don't play. Like, I will stand up for myself and put people in their place if I believe that they need it. People ask me, you like trucking? Yes, I love trucking. Most of the time. Like any other job. Some days, not so much. I became a trucker almost 3 years ago. A few months shy of being 3 years. I went to a company, CRST, some of you may know. Some of my friends on here, I know from school. We went to school, we got our CDLs, we went on the road with our trainers. At that company, they make you have co-drivers, at least in the beginning. Well, having co-drivers can be good, can be bad. I had 2 female co-drivers. One I remained friends with. Her and I laugh about when we were co-drivers. And all the rest of the co-drivers were males. The other female, well, all I can say is I hope she jumped off the face of the earth. But anyways, most of my co-drivers were male. People want to know, well, how did that go? Well, it was good, and sometimes it was not so good. I'm a female, so most males, they want to take it to another level. Which, hey, that works for some people, but for me, I wasn't interested. Although I am friends with my last co-driver before we both left the company. We got off at a rocky start, but we got things straightened out quickly. He upset me because he told me his last co-driver, they were driving down the road and they were trucking and fucking. Excuse me for being blunt. And I said to him, because the truck was issued to me, I said, there's not going to be any trucking and fucking on this truck. I was kind of offended. But we worked out our differences, and now today, him and I are good friends. No, we're not dating, we're just friends. And he's actually going to be coming to the company that I'm with now. At the company I'm at now, they break us up into teams. There's like Alpha, Bravo, Delta, Charlie, and so on. And I'm in Team Bravo. So, I think he'll be coming on with the company in the next couple of weeks, and he's going to see if he can get on my team. But him and I are good friends now. Let's see, I am on 1, 2, this is my 4th company I've worked for. So far, I think it's the best company that I've ever worked for. No job is perfect. They treat their drivers really good. There's no micromanaging. You can get quite a bit of miles, but they just give us our assignments and they pretty much leave us alone, which I like, because I can't work for a company that's constantly micromanaging and telling me how to run my clock. As long as they get their load picked up and delivered on time, I'll take care of the rest. The only thing I don't like about this company, but it's supposed to change in the near future, is this company is not regional, meaning regional you can run in certain states only. It's in the makings for the future. So as of now, I have to drive all over the nation. I had been staying out 3.5 months, but I've decided I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to stay out like a month and a half, 2 months at the max, and then I'll be coming home. But the other company I worked at before this one, that was what I loved. I had a set schedule. I did regional. I drove Florida, Georgia, Florida. Sometimes I'd go over to South Carolina or North Carolina. I'd go out for 4 days and I was home for 3 days. I absolutely loved it. But the problem with this company is, and I'm not going to say the name, and you want to know, I'll tell you privately, they are big time micromanagers. They harass the drivers all the time. Their trucks were junk. My truck was constantly breaking down. They put me in a loaner truck, then it would break down. And I guess the final straw for me was they left me stranded on the side of the road for 9 hours. And I just didn't feel like a very valued employee. So, left there. Another question that's been asked me, was it easy or hard learning how to drive a truck? Well, for me, it was very hard. Not the driving down the road part. That's pretty much like a car. I mean, you do have to swing wide when you're getting off at exits and you're making turns. So that was easy for me. The hard part for me was learning how to back one of these things. Oh my God, did I struggle with that. But my trainer that I had said, you got this, Joyce, you can do it. Your problem is you get too nervous. You get yourself all stressed out and then you can't think. Also, because I'm older than some of the other drivers, for so long I was used to driving a car and backing a car. So, from what I was told, it's in your muscle memory. So when I would back a truck, I would try to back it like a car. You can't do that in a tractor trailer. Whichever way you want your trailer to turn, you got to turn it and it's going to go the opposite way. And that was really hard for me. Plus, I was just so nervous and just scared of the truck. Another thing my trainer told me, you can't be afraid of these trucks. Respect them, but don't be afraid of them. And I've learned that. I know what's safe and what's unsafe. I try to be as careful as I can when I'm driving. But yeah, so it took me longer to learn how to back one of these things. That was a real struggle. I made a lot of mistakes along the way. I damaged fairings on the back of the tractor for several times. Jackknifed the tractor trailer several times. I've made a lot of mistakes. And almost every driver does in the beginning. And then you finally learn, wait a minute, don't do that anymore. So, we don't have bad days like every driver does. It's a lot better than it used to be for me. Yeah, I like it. People say, well, how long are you going to do it? Well, I don't know the answer to that. One is I want to buy a house. And now's not a good time to buy a house. And the other is, I got to make sure my health is going to hold up. So I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to stay on the road before I go to local, or maybe even learn how to be a broker where you set up the loads for drivers. I can even do that with the company that I'm working with now. If I wanted to come off the road, they have a lot of their employees that do it remote, meaning I can work from home. So that's something I may consider in the future. No, I don't have a co-driver now. I don't want to have a co-driver. I like being alone. I run my truck how I want to run it. I run my clock when I'm ready to, in accordance to when I have to pick up a load or deliver it. And basically, I don't have to put up with any bullshit. Not trying to bash men, but almost every one of the male drivers I had were just slobs. They didn't want to take their trash out and clean up after themselves, and it just drove me nuts. But like I said, I made some friends along the way, but I like driving by myself. People say, "Are you afraid, like when you shut down?" Well, I was very afraid in the beginning, but not anymore. I've learned how to keep myself safe. I don't roam around the truck stops at night. And I have curtains that I can pull all the way around the tractor, from the driver's window, windshield, all the way to the passenger side, so it gives me privacy. So, and then people say, what about food? Well, it depends on my mood. But I have a refrigerator. It's not a full-fledged refrigerator, but it's decent size for one person. I have a microwave, I have an electric skillet, I have a crock pot, I have a toaster, and I have a small George Foreman. So I can cook pretty much anything that I want. I actually even have a regular frying pan and a hot plate. So I can make bacon and eggs, just about anything, little pork chops. I could throw some, say, chicken, potatoes, and carrots in the crock pot just before I start driving. A little bit of seasonings. Cooks all day or hours while I'm driving. When I shut down for the night or when I stop to take my break, my dinner's all ready. I don't do so much of that anymore. I was. But I've been having some issues with my stomach. Really giving me trouble, so I guess I'm gonna have to change my diet till I can get to the doctor and figure out what's going on. It's probably my gallbladder, but some nights I shut down, I'll just eat a bowl of cereal, maybe a piece of fruit. I try to eat my heavy food in the daytime and try to eat light at night. My truck, have one of those rechargeable mini vacs, so I can vacuum the floor. The floor is vinyl. I have a mop, and I have all kinds of cleaning solution, and I'll sweep up and use the vacuum, and then I mop my floor up. I used to have some pretty rugs in the back, like this fox fur rugs in the sleeper area, so it made it more look like a bedroom, but I was constantly spilling things on the rug, and it started to be a pain in the butt, so I got rid of it. So I only have one rug in here now. It's like a soft fur bath mat rug that I have on the floor, and it's got a rubber backing so it doesn't slide. I have a coffee maker. I have one of those little, you put a little cup in it. It makes me a cup of coffee. A Keurig. I have one of those. I got plenty of cabinet space for my clothes. Summer, winter. Even now, it's warm in Florida, where my home is. But in Pennsylvania, the other night, golly, it got down to 39 degrees. So, I have an APU. When I shut down for the night, I can set it from a thing called an optimizer on my steering wheel, and I go back there and turn the APU on, and I have heat and AC, so I can stay comfortable. A lot of people wondered about that, because some of the truck companies don't have APUs, and but yet they don't want you to idle the truck all night long because you're wasting fuel. The last company I worked at, none of their APUs worked. And I got a call, to give you an example, I got a call from safety wanting to know why I was running my truck all night long. Well, because I'm cold, I need to be warm. Well, why aren't you using your APU? Because the APU doesn't work. It doesn't work on any of the trucks. So, but anyways, I pretty much have all the comforts at home. I've been to every one of the lower 48 states since I've been trucking. Some states I like better than others. I've seen a lot of beautiful places that if I hadn't became a trucker, I never would have seen. I absolutely cannot stand to go to New Jersey at all. Unfortunately, our company has a contract with some of the major carriers. So sometimes they send me there. And it's not where I have to go to pick up the load or drop the load. It's getting there. It's New Jersey. Everything is all packed in, and some of the bridges you can't go under because they're not trucker friendly, and people are uptight, and traffic is horrible, and roads are terrible, and every time I go to New Jersey, I have a bad day. I absolutely can't stand it. I don't mind going up to upstate New York. The highways are really good, and I've been to Massachusetts recently. I've been to New Hampshire. I haven't gone to Boston in a truck. I'm told by other truckers you don't want to go there. So I don't like going to Wyoming. It's a pretty state, but the weather is horrible there, pretty much year round. The winters are ridiculous, and the winters are long. I'm a native Floridian. Florida is my home. When I was younger, I went to Massachusetts many years every summer because my father is from Massachusetts and my grandmother lived there. I actually have a long-time friend that lives there that I've known since I was 6 or 7 years of age. I'm hoping in the future I can plan it right and get a load to Massachusetts and spend a little time with her and her husband and meet her kids. With this company, you can ask for home time in different states, and they will do their best to get you a load. Of course, they can't promise because it depends on which way freight is running. Some of the smaller companies, from what I'm told, they run right now mostly the southeast and the southwest. But the company I work for, we have contracts with major carriers: Walmart, Sam's Club, Procter & Gamble. Oh, geez, there's so many. Dollar Generals, things like that, where all of us consumers get our products. Our soap, our toilet paper, laundry soap, food items. Not long ago, I pulled a load, like 40-something thousand pounds of canned green beans, and that's all that was on my truck. Sometimes my load is just a box, the trailer is just a bunch of diapers, maybe wipes. I don't haul any perishables. Those are the reefer trucks. I only pull dry van. I don't like to drive reefer. Well, I never have, but I don't want to. You get hung up there too long waiting to get loaded and unloaded. With this company, majority of my loads are what you call drop and hook. Meaning you go and you pick up, you bring an empty and drop that, and you pick up a preloaded trailer. Then you take that trailer to the receiver and drop that load and pick up another empty trailer. Yes, some of my loads are live loads and live unloads, meaning I have to bring it empty to the shipper and they load the trailer up, and then I take that trailer to the receiver, pull up to the dock, and they have to unload the product. So I do have some live loads and live unloads, but mostly drop and hook, which is my favorite. Because generally you can get it in and out of there faster, and you can use your drive clock more efficiently. But when you get stuck with these live loads and unloads, it really eats up into your drive clock, because we have DOT regulations. We can only drive no more than 11 hours a day. I never drive 11 hours a day. I usually drive 8 to 10. It just depends. If I'm more tired, if I've got a little longer window to get the product there. But I don't ever drive 11 hours. I drove 10 hours and 50 minutes, 45 minutes. I drive a lot. I keep busy. I've met a lot of people. Oh, the other thing is, people have asked me, well, how are you treated by other truckers, mainly male truckers? Well, it's been good and bad. I've met quite a few other truckers with other companies that are quite friendly, quite helpful, have helped me if I've had trouble with getting my trailer to hook up, or my landing gear doesn't want to roll up the trailer, even backing. But I've had some men out there try to bully me. Without getting into all the details, probably about a year or so ago, I actually brought a load to Tampa, and it was a distribution center, and it was one way in and one way out. Well, I came in and was told by the guard to park my truck and go into the shipping office. Well, this man that was actually an employee of the company I delivered to, but he drove local, he tried to bully me. This man was up in my face trying to get me to hit him. He took a jug of his own pee and threw it at me. Luckily, it didn't get on me. He spit at me. It was a real shit show. These two other drivers were standing by closely. They were watching and about to beat his ass. I threatened to get an attorney and sue if something wasn't done. I didn't do that. The officials in charge came out. He was suspended, and then he eventually got fired. I've had other truckers try to bully me, tell me I can't park somewhere that I know that I can. You know, they try to bully you at the fuel islands. You're waiting to pull up. You're parked behind another truck that's fueling. You have to wait till they're done fueling before you can pull up. But some of them will yell at you, and I've had one man threaten to beat my ass because he thought I was taking too long fueling. And anybody knows me knows that I have a feisty side, and I'm like, I'm right here, dude. Come get me. Come get some. But yeah, I'm a sweet lady. I'm a nice lady, but I will tell somebody to go F off and put them in their place if I have to. I don't want Pandora's box to open up, but I'm out here a woman alone, and I refuse to let people bully me. So I have to take up for myself. But this job is unlike any other job I've ever had. I can't even compare it to any other job that I've had. Like I said, the hardest thing for me to learn was the backing, but I had to get out of my head. I had to push myself out of my comfort zone and relax and realize, okay, you're not set up right, trail's going the wrong way, it's not going to go in there. Okay, get out, assess the situation, regroup, and just not get upset, not get nervous. And once I got out of my own way and learned to calm myself down, then I started having less trouble backing. I don't like to blindside, meaning that when you're backing, you can only see down one side of the trailer, especially at night. But last night where I stayed, I actually had to blindside. It was at night. And I knew that was the only way I was going to get the trailer in. So I just said, okay, you're going to do it. And I did it. And I went really slow, but I got it in there. So yeah, I would say it's like anything else. If you want to get better at it, lots and lots of practice, but you have to push yourself out of your comfort zone. I've had people say they'd want to go on a road trip with me and, you know, experience what it's like being on a truck on the road. And there's been 2 or 3 people that I've considered, but for one reason or another it didn't work out. But yeah, like I said, I like trucking. I listen to a lot lot of music. I listen to crime podcasts, news podcasts that I can hear and I'm not watching. Like right now, I'm driving and I'm talking to you all, but I have a headset. Anyways, I'm trying to think of any other things. If there's any women out there that are thinking about maybe trying to become a truck driver, if it's really what you want to do, I say go for it. If I can learn to drive a truck and back it, so can you. It's a little harder for women than men for the simple fact it can be strenuous, and I'm not that strong, and I'm really short. So I have a step stool that helps me get up on certain places in the truck. But if you want to learn, you can learn. It is possible. And generally, men learn how to back quicker than women. A lot of them already have a background, and they've been on a farm, and their dads, their grandfathers had tractors, trailers hooked up to them. They pulled U-Hauls. So it just comes more natural to men. But that's not to say that women can't learn to back to and drive one of these trucks. It just depends on if you want it bad enough. If you want something bad enough, you just keep on keeping on. You don't give up. And you keep trying, even when you want to give up. I don't know. I can't think of anything else right now off the top of my head. But I will post this a little bit later when I stop driving. Hope everybody's happy and healthy and safe out there. That's what I do every day. Do my best to stay happy, healthy, and safe. Of course, like any other person, shit happens in life, and things in your personal life kind of piss you off, and it can affect your professional life. But I don't like being away from my family so much. That really bothers me. But at my age, I couldn't make the money that I make somewhere else. I tried that. And it's not forever. I just don't know when I'm going to come off the road. Yeah, like I said, it just depends. But anyways, I hope I didn't bore everybody with all of the information I was giving you, but I get a lot of messages from people asking me questions. I hope I answered most of them. If you have any more questions, feel free to message me. Just keep it clean, guys, okay? No dirt stuff.